Okay, today we're going to start our lecture out, and we're going to be doing, getting everything ready to do our scale floor plan. We've done our bubble plans, we've done our rough plans, and now you're going to actually start your scale plans. So the first thing I need you to do is come up here to the new, and I'd like you to go to where it says open and hold down the arrow, fly out, and go open with no template Imperial. This opens up. Now, we're going to be doing architectural. Everything we've been doing in the past has all been decimal. So let's go ahead and change this up. First thing we're going to do is type in units. Okay, with this units, if you take a look at it, the first thing we've got coming up is decimal. We're going to hold this down and go to architectural. And then the precision set at 1/16, that's fine. But we're going to change this up because we're not going to be that crazy with it. So let's just put it as a quarter. Okay, so that's all done. Decimals are fine, the precision 0, and inches is fine. So make those two changes right here, and let's tell it OK. Now, if you notice down here, you're going to see the actual coordinates are very different from the decimal. Now, when we're talking the coordinates, if you go down here, see the apostrophe means feet, and the quotation marks mean inches. If you don't put anything after it, it automatically goes to inches. So the next thing we want to do is we want to set our limits. Right now, our paper or the actual screen size is from 0 to 12:9, like a sheet of paper. But we're going to do your entire cottage to scale, so we need to change that up. So let's go ahead and type in limits and see where it says 0 feet, 0 inches, 0 feet, 0 inches. That's what it's supposed to say because that's our bottom 0, 0, which is right there. So we're going to hit enter. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to type in 200 feet, which is the apostrophe, a comma, 200 feet. And we're going to hit enter. Now things have completely changed. So now our paper is 0, 0, 200 feet, 200 feet. What I'd like you to do next so that we can see the whole thing is type in the letter Z for zoom and then go E for extents. Now, I know you couldn't see it on the actual screen, but what we've actually done is we've gone ahead and set it up so that the paper is really way over here. If we come up here, you can see down at the bottom right here, you can see now we're sitting at 302 or 299 instead of the 12 inches. So we're good on that. So we've got that set. And let's go ahead and do a save. Do your save as, and please save it onto your server. And for me, I'm going to take this and save it on my desktop because I put everything there. And this is going to be your cottage, okay? So you can put your last name in cottage so we know whose it is and hit save. Now, I'm not going to remind you, but you need to hit save quite often because we don't want things to screw up. So let's go ahead and add some layers. So let's go to layers and let's click on new. And the first layer that we're going to add is going to be counters because we're going to have counters in our house. And we're going to make those counters blue. And those counters are going to be 0.3. They're continuous, and they're going to be 0.3. And they're going to be printable, which is fine. And we're going to do another new one. And after counters, we're going to do dimensions. And we're going to make these dimensions cyan, which is this light blue. And they're going to be continuous, and they're going to be 0.25. And notice, when you're doing this, whatever is highlighted, they copy that down for the next one. So the next thing we're going to do new, is we're going to do hidden. And that one's going to be green. And the line type is going to load up, and we're going to do hidden. Excuse the noise. Mr. Reyes' room they're working on their trebuchets. So we're going to do hidden. And the hidden lines are going to be 0.3. Okay, the next one we're going to do is we're going to do walls. This one is going to be our white, which is white is black, black is white. Make sure it says white. If it says a number there, it's wrong. And it's going to be continuous. And the size of these walls are going to be 0.7. They're going to be on the thick side so we can see things. Now the next one we're going to do is new. We're going to do windows. Okay, and with windows, those are going to be blue. Those are going to be continuous, and those are going to be 0.4. Last thing we're going to do at this point is we're going to come to our zero layer. We're going to turn it red. And of course, we're making our zero a non-printing layer. So we're not going to change anything up here because it's not going to print anyway. Now, I know I went through those on the quick side. If you need to pause it and to get your layers in, go ahead and do so now. And you should be set on that. So I'm going to continue on, close this out, and I'm hitting my save just to make sure. Okay? Now, the next thing I'm going to do is you need to look at your rough plan. What rough plan have you decided to do? I'm going to pull in my rough plan, and let's see here, and we'll do that and enter it in. So here is my rough plan. So let me do a few things with this first. Let's rotate this, and let's make this a little bit bigger. Oops. Let's go scale this up. Okay, here we go. Now I'm doing this because I want you to see what we're dealing with. The first thing I'm going to do is see my outside 26 by 34.6. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to place myself in the wall layer, and I'm simply going to start with a line. Okay, actually I could start with a polyline if I want, but I think I'm going to use a line. I'm going to start here. I'm going to drag this up, and I'm going to type in 26 feet. Remember, if you don't type in the feet, you're not going to see it. Okay, so there's my 26 feet. Now my next one, look right here, 34 feet 6 inches. So I'm going to type 34 feet. See where I typed it down there? Dash, and this is 6, and I don't even have to do the inch marks. It'll take it. And then from there, I'm going to do my 26 feet. And I'm going to close it up over here. Now let's go ahead and move this guy out of the way. Wasn't quite sure where things were going to go. And you know, I'm going to make this larger so we can see it still. Oh, that'd be kind of crazy large. Okay, so we've got that set. I just want you to be able to see what we got going on. Now, of course, if your house is L-shaped or T-shaped or U-shaped, you have to follow your numbers around. And sometimes you're going to get to a point where you're not quite sure where. Close it off and let's figure things out. Now you've got this done. The next big thing I need you to do is let's check your area, because these are your outside walls. So with area, I'm going to grab each corner. So once again, if you got an L or a T, you follow each corner all the way around till your entire object is filled up with the green. Once it's done, let's see what it says. Down here, it says, we're not looking at square inches, we're looking square feet. I got 897 square feet. I got 3 extra square feet. I am not going to worry about that at all. Okay, so I'm good on that. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is start working on my outside walls. So I'm going to take my offset, and remember, originally here we were counting them a foot, but when we're drawing here, we're going to do 8 inches. And you're going to take these walls and come to the inside. Do not go to the outside. If you go to the outside, you're going to mess up your square footage. And I am going to come around and check that. Okay, the next thing you're going to do, you can trim up these edges, or you can fill at the edges, and we can get rid of this. So this is now my basic idea in my plan. Okay, so I have this all set. Now, the next thing here I want you to do is I want you to take a look. Do what you know. In this plan here, I started with this room. And see, I made this one a little bit larger because I didn't worry about what the length here was, because I know I could get this and this and this 34 feet. So I know this. This room's going to be 10 foot by 10 foot. This is going to be 5 foot. So over here, what I'm going to do is just do my offset and type in 10 feet. So I'm taking this line and coming over. See the 10 foot? I'm going to offset again 4 inches. And I'm going to go to the outside. See, I'm coming out this way. If I went inside, my room's getting too small. I'm next going to do my bathroom. That's 5 foot because I know that. So I'm going to take that here and come over. And I'm going to do my 4 inches for my wall. I'm coming this direction. See how I'm working my way past? And then the last thing is, I'm still not sure on that measurement, but I know this is 5 foot over here. So I'm going to do a 5 foot, and I'm going to take this inside wall, and I'm coming this way now, and I have to do my 4 inches. And I pick it, and I'm coming this way now. See how it's building up? So if you're not quite sure what I've done, I'm going to come in here with my dimension. And while we're here in the dimension area, let's clean some things up. Let's come over to annotate and see where it says dimension. Come to this right here. This is our style manager. If I was, and actually I'm going to show you, if I was to come in here and just put what this dimension is here to here, there it is right there. It's not really helping me. It's hard to see. So watch what we're going to do to change this. Let's hit our dimension style manager and let's go to modify. First thing I'd like you to do is come over to primary units. We're going to change from decimal to architectural. Okay? So we're going to do that. And the next thing we're going to do is come to fit. You see this right here, overall scale of 1? We're going to change this to 48. And the reason we're going to do this to 48 is when we actually do our printing to scale, it's going to be a quarter scale. So 1/4 of an inch is equal to 1 foot. So if you have 1/4 and 12 inches, 12 times 4 is 48. So we're going to up this 48 and tell it OK. Now, with that, I'm going to hit set current, and I'm going to close. See what happened? We can actually see that dimension. So make sure that gets done. And I'm going to be doing my save. Look at this right here from this one to this one. I have my 5 foot. From this one to this one, I have my 5 foot. And you know what? I now can figure out how big my kitchen is exactly. Kitchen's a lot bigger than I thought it was. And if I really wanted to see this, you could see that I have, there's my little 4 inches right there. Okay? So there's my 4 inches. So that's what I did. This is exactly what I did here. And this is what we were thinking it's going to be. So I gained some extra space, but I'm still good on that. So I'm good right there. Now I'm going to come down this way. So let's go ahead and I'm going to put myself back on the walls. And I'm going to do my offset of 10 feet. And I'm going to take this and come down. And I'm going to do my 4 inches again. See how I came down with it? And at this point, I'm just going to trim it. I'm going to go ahead and hit my space bar. Oops. And see if I can do this a little bit better. And I'm going to get rid of these here. Because this is what I'm really looking at here. Okay? Now, the next thing I have that I know I have is I have this hallway. It's got to be 3 feet. So I'm going to offset 3 feet. I'm going to take the bottom and come down. And I have that wall, so it should be 4 inches. Now, here's the deal. You see this bedroom right here? I originally said it was going to be 10 foot this way. I've got it going over. So all I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to give it like 11 feet. You can change things up like that. You're not actually making massive moves. And I'm going to take here and come over. And before I go any further, I'm going to pick this line, right click, I'm trimming that back. And I'm going to offset my 4 inches. So I have here coming over there. Now, do you see right here? I have a closet that's going to be 2 feet. I'm going to offset my 2 feet. And I'm going to take here and come over. And I'm going to do my 4 inches and come over. Now I'm going to trim this out too and get rid of this here. Okay? So now I have some areas that are all blocked in. And you know what? This is where it comes in to help to definitely throw some dimensions in here so we know what's going on. I definitely want to see what this one is. And I want to see what this one is. And now just so I can see, let's take this and come here. That's a big old entertainment area. I may even make this a little larger if I like. So I'll show you about that later. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it just like this at this point and then start working on some other areas. Okay, so you can see I have this, and let's throw these dimensions in so we at least be able to tell what sizes some things are. Okay, so let's go to here, and I definitely want to see that this hallway is 3. And check this out. If that 3 is in your way there, you can put it right up to the middle if you choose. So at least I have some dimensions. And if the dimensions get in the way, I can always freeze those off. That's not a big deal. Okay? So let's take a look and see. I'm happy with this here, and I'm happy with this right now. I'm going to have to put my closet over here. But what I want to do is I want to come to this and show you how to make this move over. First thing I'm going to do is come over to my walls, and I'm going to freeze off my dimensions. Okay? So I'm going to freeze that off. Now, instead of me just moving these walls over, watch what I can do. Check out the stretch command. I'm going to take this stretch command, and I'm going to make a window from here. And now I'm going to pull this over, and I'm going to put my ortho on. So see how it's stretching? Anything that's inside will move. Anything that was crossed over will stretch. So that's why those upper lines are stretching. So I'm going to drag it over, and I'm going to give it at least another foot, another 12 inches. So now I've made that room much larger. So let's turn on, and I know my dimensions did not keep it. Well, it actually did. So now I've got that set. So I'm kind of happy with that. So I'm going to go ahead and hit my save. And the one thing I do need to do is I've got to figure out what I'm doing here with my closet. And I'm going to put that in shortly. All right. At this point, I'm going to stop this video and have this as part 1. The bell's going to catch me, and then I'm going to set up with a video for part 2. So this will get you going so it's not too long and crazy. So part 1's done. Make sure you save it off, and we will go from there, all right?